New communities promise everything, but what if the reality is years of noise, delays, and broken promises? If you're a relocation buyer or a first-time home buyer, this video on EverRange gives you the full picture on the builders, the prices, the lot sizes, what's here right now. That way you can decide if this is a smart move or a possible future regret. Stick around because we're getting after it right now. All right, we're going to jump in my computer and I'm going to show you around EverRange, and in particular I'm going to show you around Mariposa, the new community that they are already selling. And if you bought a home in there, you could be able to live in there around mid 2026, and they're going to have the Amenity Center built by summer of 2026. So let's go. All right, so this is the map of EverRange, brought to you by the Park Group. It's a Park Group community. They built Nocatee, and that's in Ponte Vedra, Florida. The majority of Nocatee is in St. Johns County. A portion of it is in Duval County. Also, the Park Group built eTown, which is north of EverRange, and that's in Jacksonville. And so between the two areas is EverRange, and EverRange will be in, it is in Jacksonville, and that'll be zip code 32256. Looking at the map here, to the south, you know, you see the compass there, but as you're going to see if you stick around, and I hope you do stick around to the end, because I'm going to be jumping in my car and driving around the community itself, you're going to see that as you come in off of US 1, also known as Phillips Highway, as you come in, you're going to go by a roundabout, and that will be the town center area that's set up. EverRange, that's where they're going to have some local community shopping. And as you continue to go further north, you're going to run into, it's called the Ridge, and that is a townhome community that's going to be built by Dreamfinders Homes. It's going to be really great for a lot of first-time home buyers, because those are going to be starting in the 400,000s. As you go further north, you're going to have Regency, and that is a 55 plus gated community, exclusively built by Toll Brothers, and they are a luxury builder. Very nice finishes with Toll Brothers. As you go further north, you see this icon for the Amenity Center. That's where that's going to be located. And at the southern end of Mariposa, of course, that will be the closest proximity to the Amenity Center. Then you have Mariposa. That's the community that I'm going to be speaking quite a bit about, because they're actively selling in there right now. You can already begin to buy in there. As you go further north, you've got the EverRange Parkway. By the way, Mariposa, those are going to be, I believe, 40, 50, and 60-foot lots. As you go further north, you're going to have Sagebrush, which is west of EverRange Parkway, and those are going to be 50 and 60-foot lots. As you continue to go further north still, there's an area called Monterra, and those are going to be 70 and 80-foot lots, and they are going to be building homes in there as large as 5,000 square feet. And then across the parkway is another community called Saddletree that is planned, and that one is going to have 70-foot lots. So we are on the web page for Mariposa. Again, this is everrange.com, and as you can see, they have single family homes from 1450 square feet to 3,400 square feet. The builders in there are all announced. They are David Weekley Homes, Dostie Homes, ICI Homes, Providence Homes, Riverside Homes, and Toll Brothers. So in case I didn't mention this, EverRange is going to be 50% preserved land. So that's roughly between 1,200 and 1,500 acres total area at build out, compared to Nocatee. Nocatee is 8 to 10 times larger than EverRange. EverRange is going to be more of a boutique size community. But definitely make use of this EverRange website. As you can see, they show the amenity center, and the hub is going to be called the Grove. And it's pretty nice. They're going to have zero entry pool. They're going to have pickleball courts, all that good stuff. This goes through all the individual builders. There's links to them. I'm going to put in my plug to say that it doesn't cost anything to work with a realtor. I'm a very experienced local realtor. I've lived in this area for 40 years. I've been a realtor for 10 years. I've owned homes for over 30 years total. And I worked in transportation logistics. I went to the University of North Florida. So if you're looking for somebody that's been around this area for quite a while as an adult, that's me. Definitely have experience, and I've lived in this area a really long time. I also put a lot of miles on my car. When you call in and speak with me or text me or email me, I'm going to be the one that responds. You're not going to be referred out to a call center in the Philippines or something like that. I'm the one that's going to be here to help you. So you got Providence Homes, Continuing Riverside Homes, and Toll Brothers. These are some of the actual homes that they're going to be building here, actual plans. So you can go from the 800,000s, 700,000s. A lot of this is going to depend on the lot size that you select also. They have some from the 500,000s, mid 400,000s. This is a map of the Mariposa community itself, and you can see all the different colors. Those are designated by different builders, and they've pretty well divvied them up between all the builders, so you can see there pretty clearly what's available. All right, this is a more detailed look at the Grove. That's for residents, amenities there. And if you want, there's a video. I'm not going to play it on here, but you can see that they got family pool, centralized gathering place, multi-purpose trails, dog parks and playgrounds, fishing pond, and there is, they call it an EV path, but it's for carts, golf carts. Those are going to be throughout this community as well. So it's definitely a electric vehicle, golf cart friendly community as well. And before I forget, the 55 plus community that I mentioned, Regency, it will have its own set of amenities exclusive to that community. There will be an HOA within the community, and there will also be a CDD, that stands for Community Development District, that covers the infrastructure. It's a line item on your property taxes, and I can explain that further, but I've explained it many times throughout my many videos. CDDs are pretty commonplace in communities that have incredible amenities. I mean, you've got all underground utilities, incredible drainage. It's just a fantastic setup community. All right, I wanted to show you on a map. Everybody wants to know this when they speak to me. How close is the community to the beach, or any community to the beach, right? Because we all love the beach, the ocean, going to the sand and the surf, all that good stuff. So it's 22 minutes from EverRange to Mickler Beach, which is Ponte Vedra Beach. A major employer here in Jacksonville, and I would think that a lot of professionals that work for this company would be interested in this community as well. Of course, it's the Mayo Clinic, and you're about 31 minutes drive from Mariposa to the Mayo Clinic. And of course, NAS Jacksonville, Naval Air Station Jacksonville, for our military folks, and thank you for your service. That's going to be about 34 minutes from Mariposa over there. All right, now I'm going to jump in my car and show you around the community. Let's go. All right, we are in EverRange, the new master plan community by the Park Group, and we are on EverRange Parkway. Off to our left, to the left-hand side of this traffic circle that we're coming up onto, is going to be Trading Post Drive. That will also go out onto and intersect US 1, and there will be a quote-unquote trading post area there. It'll be headed up by a gate food store and gas station. They're kind of like Wawa, if you will, by comparison. Of course, they have gas pumps, you know, Gate Petroleum and gas pumps. You can figure that out. You're probably noticing this nice paved roadway on my right, adjacent to this road that I'm driving on. That is for EVs, electric vehicles, also known as golf carts, if that's what you want to call them. So people call them EVs. I just turned on to Rustic Ridge Drive, and the first community that they're going to have here in EverRange is called the Ridge, and those are going to be more or less starter home prices for buyers. And those will be townhomes by Dreamfinders Homes, and those are going to be in the 400,000s. There will be other single-family homes in the 400,000s as well. I saw some of those by Providence Homes that are going to be up in Mariposa, but we're working our way up there to Mariposa. Off to our right, the sign says EverRange Regency coming soon, starting in the 500,000s. So you're probably wondering, what is that one? What is that community all about? That is going to be a 55 plus gated community exclusively by Toll Brothers. And Toll Brothers is a luxury home builder. That's going to be totally their community, 100%. 55 plus. It'll be gated, and it'll have its own separate amenity center. You can see they've installed these beautiful palm trees. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. I do have the windows down so you can see more to your left, and also to your right. But there's a lot of construction work going on in here. You might see some water on the roadways. That's not from flooding. That's because they're running irrigation pumps, and they're also putting in retention ponds. And you know, when you do a lot of excavation and digging and so forth, you're going to generate a little bit of water. But not to worry, this is all flood zone X, which is the most high and dry rated flood zone in all of Florida. EverRange does border some other existing Jacksonville communities, but it is its own boutique community. This is a park group community, and it's small compared to Nocatee. Nocatee is like 14,000 homes. It's nearing being built out. This home is just, this community is just beginning, and it's going to be about 1,500 homes, and it'll be 50% conservation lands. You can see there's some homes going up over there on my right, and I believe we are in the Mariposa section of EverRange, and there's 6 builders. They are already beginning to sell. All of the builders are beginning to sell Mariposa now. So the pre-sales have begun. Now we're in Jacksonville again. We're in zip code 32256. And that's what I call the Bay Meadows area. There's a big road in Jacksonville called Bay Meadows Road, and that's one of the primary large east-west roadways that runs through zip code 32256. This will be zoned for Duval County Schools. Off to our left here, this is the Sagebrush community that's going in. Those are going to be 50 and 60 foot lots, single family there. Yep. Here's the water that I told you that they're pumping, because they're creating a retention pond. That's what you do in Florida. We build retention ponds for the water that we move. And over here to our right, it's still a lot of conservation lands, and they're still putting in the EV pad. Off to our left is the Monterra community. These homes will be built only by Mastercraft builders. They will be on 70 or 80 foot lots. Many are conservation lots, and the homes will range from 2,600 to over 5,000 square feet. Off to our right, that's a good look at what a retention pond looks like. But off to our right will be the next community, which is going to be called Saddletree, and those homes will be 70 foot lots in there. Now, this roadway that I'm on, you're going to see that it stops, terminates, whatever you want to call it, up here at the end. And that's only temporary, because this roadway will eventually connect on over to eTown, which is yet another park group master plan community. Now that one's nearly built out as well. There is a lot of shopping nearby this community, because you have only 8 miles away is the St. John's Town Center. Very close by, and just over in St. Johns County, because we're close to the county line, the change of the county line, is Durban Pavilion. And then if you make a turn off US 1, if you make a turn from EverRange onto US 1 and make a left, you're going to be on the Nocatee Parkway, and that takes you to Nocatee. And then you have the Nocatee Town Center over there as well. So you have no shortage of places to go shopping within range of EverRange. Thanks for watching. My contact information is in the description, and it's also pinned in the comments. I'm always happy to help you make a smooth move to Jacksonville, and until next time, I hope to see you around Jax.